Hello and welcome to day 16 of our journey together. Wow, it has gone by so fast, but I've enjoyed every single minute of it. I am not wishing my time away. I know we're over halfway through now, but we've still got a lovely 14 more sessions to do together. And then when these are completed, I'm going to start uploading some not proper because these ones are proper. I'm going to start uploading some maybe hour-long sequences, 45-minute long sequences, because at the moment we're just doing little bits of snippet just to refresh ourselves, to motivate ourselves, making this task seem more achievable, small pieces of cake rather than one huge one. But mind you, some days we probably could eat one huge one. So today we are going to do some really nice stretches for the legs. We're going to do some low lunges, some high lunges, and we're going to bring in a bit of spinal twist as well. So just as important as it always is, we are going to settle into our practice. Now, I hope you aren't skipping these bits, but I imagine some of you probably are. But see if you can test yourself today and just spend the first minute or two with me, just to really bring yourself into the space. It's a really nice way to settle the mind, to calm the body, to calm the nervous system before we go into the practice ahead. So, finding your nice comfortable seat, however that looks for you. And we are just going to start by closing our eyes if that feels comfortable. If not, just finding a point on the floor ahead, just lowering your gaze. We're going to just tune into our breath. And if we don't have any colds or sniffles, we're going to try and breathe in and out through the nostrils. And see if we can feel the inhale on the very tip of our nose. And similarly, see if it passes that same tip on the exhale. And maybe try tuning in to any part of the torso or the trunk, so from the belly button all the way up to the shoulders. Just pick a body part. For me, I'm going to pick shoulders. And I'm just going to see how my shoulders move with my inhales and my exhales. And if it helps, you can always place your hands on this body part. So the shoulders, or maybe it's rib cage, maybe it's the belly. And just notice how your chosen body part moves up and down, or in and out on the exhale and the inhale. When you're ready, just dropping those hands back down if they have been resting on the body part, and placing them face down on the thighs or on the floor. Slowly going to bring the chin in towards the chest and blink the eyes open to a point in front if they have been closed, before taking in the room by lifting up our chin. Hi. So we're going to make our way onto our mat just to warm up the body, getting prepared for this lovely vinyasa that we've got ahead. Really nice for the legs, really nice for the spine. But first things first, we always have to warm up the body, especially when we are doing some nice twists. We don't want to pull any muscles, otherwise you might be stuck on day 16 for a few days just while you recover. So always being kind for your body, taking the extra time. It may seem, well, some people might see it as a waste of their time, but just trust me, it's just so important. You've probably noticed I've sat on a block. Today you will need a block, so if you have to press pause, I apologise, I should have said that at the beginning. You need a block. If you don't have a block, you can have a thick book, anything. It needs to be sturdy this time, so a pillow won't quite cut it. You do need something a bit more sturdy, but equally you may not need it. So I just always like to have it there just in case. So you don't have to sit on the block, I'm just choosing to today. And we're just going to start warming up the spine like I promised. So with the inhale, sweeping the arms up, Bring the fingertips to touch at the top. And on the exhale, floating them all the way back down. And again, the inhale moves them up, sweeping up towards the sky. And the exhale, we just float them all the way back down. Remember, we're trying to get our movement in tune with our breath and not the other way around. We don't manipulate our breath so it suits our movements. This time, our breath is the absolute leader. So it's when the exhale starts that we start floating the hands all the way back down. And when the inhale starts, floating the hands up to the top. On the exhale, we're going to twist over to our right, so bringing the left hand down onto the right thigh, and that right hand down behind you. And inhale, lengthen, and then exhale to twist ever so slightly more over to that right side. Keeping that right hand as close to the body as we can, just to help keep that torso upright. And your choice of gaze, you can either keep it nice and neutral, or send the gaze over that right shoulder. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale to sweep the arms all the way back up to centre. And then exhale, taking it over to the other side. So this time bring the right hand onto the left leg and sweeping that left hand out behind you. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to rotate over to that right side. Left side. Keeping on your toes. So inhale, we lengthen, creating space in the vertebrae. And then the exhale is when we rotate. Again, picking your choice of gaze. Over that left shoulder, or keeping that neck nice and neutral. When you're ready, inhale, bring the hands back to centre, keeping the hands in that prayer pose at the top, and exhale, we're going to draw it down the midline of the body. Pause at the heart centre. Maybe sending out a bit of love to someone in your life, or a bit of love out to yourself. And in this practice, every time we come to this heart-centered pose, we're just going to remember that loved one. When you're ready, releasing the hands all the way back down. We're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. Got a little bit more spine warming up before we get into our Anjaneyasanas, our lunges. So bringing the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips, and laying the feet nice and flat against the floor. Looking for that lovely straight spine, again from the base all the way to the crown of the head. I'm going to work through the cat-cow sequence now, Bittilasana and Marjarasana. So on the inhale, curling the toes under, dropping the belly, lifting the chest, the head and the neck. On your exhale, draw that chin in towards the chest, pull the belly button up towards the sky and lay those feet nice and flat. So inhale to tuck the toes, drop the belly, lifting the chest, the neck and the head. And the exhale, start some rhythm and bring the chin towards the chest, the belly in towards the spine and the feet nice and flat. So just doing one more round. Maybe closing your eyes if that feels good, just to turn that focus inwards. And with the next inhale, just bringing that spine back to that neutral position. Then inhale to tuck the toes under. And then exhale, we're going to send the hips up and back, coming into our downward facing dog. So keeping those knees generously bent, really sending those sit bones up to where the ceiling meets the wall. And your option is to pedal out the feet, or you can stay stationary, but just see if you can bring those ears in line with the biceps. Keep the muscles on the face nice and relaxed. Taking in another lovely inhale here. Then on the exhale, we're just going to lower that right knee down onto the mat. And we're going to sweep that left foot up and help set it up in between the hands at the front. We're going to come into our low lunge. So key is have that left knee over the left ankle. And just allow the top of that right foot just to rest nicely against the floor. You can take this stretch as much as you like by just shimmying back that back leg to just where it feels good, as long as this front knee is still over that front ankle. When you're ready with the inhale, you can feel the torso nice and upright. Option to rest the hands on that front thigh or sweeping them up and overhead, palms facing one another, fingers spread nice and wide, reaching up to the ceiling and the sky beyond. Inhaling here, tucking that tailbone under, and then exhale, we're going to float the hands all the way back down to frame that front foot. Now here's the option where you have a block or a book, whatever feels good, or no item whatsoever. If you do want to use a block, just place it here. You can have it on, there's 3 different heights. There's this one, the lowest one, medium, if you can see that, or the highest height. So just picking what feels good for you. And we're just going to rest that right hand on top of that block, still keeping that shoulder in line with that right wrist. With an inhale, we're going to sweep the left hand out behind us and just place the hand on that flat part of the lower back. On the inhale, we're going to lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, we're going to start rotating over towards our left. I'm just going to pop the block out the way. You can keep it there, of course. And as always, working with inhale, we lengthen, and exhale, start twisting over to the left. And then if you feel like that left shoulder is stacked over the right shoulder, you can release that left hand up to the sky, staring at those beautiful fingers on your left hand, twinkle fingers. And just remembering to breathe. And if this doesn't feel good, then just bring that left hand back to sit on the back of that left spine and just do a nice gentle twist. Remember, the key is listening to your body. Like I say, I don't want you out of action for the next few days because you've pulled yourself an injury. One more breath here. Then wherever the hand has been, we're just going to bring it all the way back down to frame that front foot. Inhale, we're going to curl the back toes under and lift the back knee. On the exhale, we're going to step the right foot up to meet the left foot, coming into forward fold. So again, bringing the weight into the balls of the feet, bending those knees comfortably, just allowing the top of the body to hang heavy over those legs. With an inhale, bring the hands to the shins, come into half forward fold, shoulder blades in towards one another. And then exhale, release the hands all the way back down. This time we're going to step the left foot back and then lower that left knee down onto the mat, coming into low lunge on the other side. So again, taking that back knee to wherever you feel like you want that stretch in the low lunge, just making sure that that right knee is over that right ankle. We're going to grab our block and just keep it available to us for now. And then with the inhale, engaging those abdominal muscles, slowly going to peel the torso back up into an upright position. Option to rest hands on the front thigh or sweeping them up and overhead. Bring the shoulder blades in towards one another down the back, tucking that tailbone under, feeling the strength of this pose. Taking in another lovely inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to float the hands all the way back down to frame that front foot. We're going to grab our block if we need it and just place it underneath the left shoulder and the left hand on top. Then the inhale to sweep the right hand onto the lower part of the back. On the inhale, we focus on lengthening through the spine. And the exhale, start rotating over to the right. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to rotate. And this time, if you feel like that right shoulder stepped over the left, releasing that right hand up to the sky. And your choice of gaze, either keeping it neutral or looking up to those right fingers. Give them a little wiggle too, start on. Inhale here. Then the exhale, just flow that right hand all the way back down to frame that front foot. Inhale to tuck the back toes under and lift the back knee. And exhale to step it up to the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold, Uttanasana. With an inhale, hands to shins, half forward fold, shoulder blades in, And exhale, releasing the hands all the way back down. You're going to step the left foot back, and the option is you can either lower that left knee once more, or this time see if you can keep it lifted. Remember, there are no winners for keeping it lifted if it's really uncomfortable. It's just about picking the variation that suits you best. And with an inhale, peeling the torso upright again, either resting the hands on that front thigh or sweeping them up and overhead. Once more, tucking that tailbone under, and if you have that back knee lifted, we're going to really draw that back heel up towards the bum just to help activate all the muscles down the leg there. Taking in a lovely breath here, and on the exhale, floating the hands all the way back down to frame that front foot. This is when the block might come even more in handy. So grabbing your block again and placing it underneath that left shoulder. Again, picking which height suits you the best. So I'm keeping it on medium height this time. I'm going to place my left hand on it, and on the inhale, sweep that right hand once more onto the lower part of the back. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, start rotating over to the right side again. Inhale, we lengthen, and exhale to rotate. Again, only if you feel that right shoulder stacked on the left, releasing that right hand up to the sky. If not, just keep it on the lower part of the back and just opening up the chest. Remembering to breathe fully and deeply. Slowly hold it for one more breath here. Then on the exhale, slowly floating that right hand all the way back down, popping the block to one side, bringing both hands down onto the mat. On the inhale, stepping the back foot up to meet the front foot. Inhale, hands to shins, half forward fold. And exhale to release all the way back down. I'm going to rest our hands either side of the feet, and this time we're going to step the right foot back. Again, option to lower that right knee down onto the mat or to keep it lifted. If you're going to keep it lifted, do you remember we've got to keep that right heel pulled up towards the bum. So with the inhale, I'm going to slowly peel the torso upright, resting the hands on the front of the thigh, or sweeping the arms up and overhead. Palms facing one another, shoulders drop down away from the ears, tucking that tailbone under. Making sure all the muscles on the face are nice and relaxed. On your next exhale, floating the hands all the way back down to frame that front foot. Grabbing that block again, or that book, and placing it on whichever height feels good for you. On the inhale, sweeping the left hand this time into the lower part of the back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Imagine creating those spaces in between each vertebrae. And then the exhale, start rotating over towards that left. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, rotate. And only if you feel like that left arm is stacked on top of left shoulder stacked on top of the right, you can release the left hand up towards the sky. Just remembering to breathe, remember to pull that heel up towards the bum. One more breath, and then the exhale, floating that left hand all the way back down to frame that front foot. Putting the block to one side, hands either side of the front foot. Inhale to step the back foot up to meet the front foot, bringing the hands straight onto the shins, coming into our half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, release all the way back down. Inhale, sweeping the arms around up and overhead, fingertips or palms to touch at the top. And exhale, just draw that prayer down that midline of the body. Pausing the hands at the heart center. Remembering that loved one. Could be yourself. Always love yourself. When you're ready, we're just going to float the hands all the way back down. And we've come to the end of our practice. So if you want to join me, you can do this standing up or sitting down, just as we go through our 4 mudras and our 4 intentions. So placing one hand to your heart and one to the belly, having the intention to have a joyful and energetic body. Placing the bottom heart over the hand that's on the heart centre and setting the intention to have a loving and compassionate heart. Bringing the hands out in front, the fingertips to touch. And sending our focus to that third eye centre, we set our intention to have a clear, reflective and alert mind. Finally, bringing the base of the hands together and opening just the 3 middle fingers, making our Padma Mudra. And tuning into our beautiful, unique aura that surrounds ourselves. We set our final intention to have lightness in our being. Bring those hands to close in prayer and drawing that prayer towards your heart. Thank you for joining me for day 16. It's been another corker. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, or maybe the next day. And from my heart to yours, namaste.